Okay, so when we have 4 steps, or it's not 4 steps, 4 terms, right? We got 4 terms here. It's not a binomial, it's not a trinomial, it's a polynomial. It's the only way to describe it. So we have 1, x3. Then we have positive 4x squared, negative 25, and negative 100. So we can't do A, B, C. We can't do difference of squares with these guys because they're 4 terms, right? So there's a different way we got to deal with it. The first step is always the same. So it doesn't matter if it's a binomial, trinomial, or 4 terms. First step is always the same. Is it in the correct order? So is that in descending order? Does it go big power to next big power to next big power to lowest power? It does, right? That's always the first question. Doesn't matter if it's binomials, trinomials, or 4 terms. Is the leading term positive? So is the guy in front positive? Yep. Now the next question is a GCF. Is there a GCF besides 1 for all 4 of those guys? So 1, 4, negative 25, negative 100, right? Is there anything besides 1 I can divide them all by? No. Can I divide them by x? Can I take away x's from each of them? No, because the last guy does not have, this guy over here doesn't have an x. So the GCF is just 1. Okay, you can write it down or you don't have to do it. If it's just 1, you don't need to write that down. So the step 2, that's always step 1. It doesn't matter if it's a binomial, trinomial, or 4. That's always step 1. Step 2 is the new one. Step 2 is the new one. We're going to break them down into 2 smaller groups. Instead of 4 guys, we're going to break them down into 2 groups. Always a plus in the middle. Always a plus in the middle. So the yellow and the green are going to go in the first group. 1x3, 4x2. The magenta and the light blue are going to go in the second group. Negative 25x minus 100. Okay, that's step 2. So there's a lot, so there's more steps, but some of them are fast. Like that, we just did step 2. Put them into groups, done. Step 3 and 4 go pretty fast as well. So step 3, look at the first group. Right, look at the first group. Right, Alan, are you following along? How come there's nothing on your paper then? Thank you. What? Oh, you got it? Perfect. My bad. First GCF, first group GCF. Is there a GCF for the first group? X squared, right? Yep, 1x squared. Okay, 1x squared. Okay. So we got 1x squared. You don't have to write the x, the 1. You can if you want. All right. GCF always goes in the front. GCF always goes in the front. 1x2. So 1 divided by 1 makes 1. If I take away 2 powers, I get x. 1 divided by 4 makes 4. If I take away 2 powers, I just get a 4. Okay, that was step 3. You're going to do the same thing with the second group. Look at the second group. What's the GCF for the second group? What's the biggest thing I can divide both of them by? 25, yeah, I think it's 25. And remember, if the first guy is negative, we always want to make it positive. So I'm going to be negative 25. I'm going to say negative 25. GCF always goes in front. And there's a plus. There was a plus there to begin with. Okay. Now divide. Negative 25 divided by negative 25 makes 1. X. Negative 100 divided by negative 25 makes plus 4. Okay, so that was step 4. Now, about this time, you should see double. You should be seeing something twice. Do you see something that's up there twice? X plus 4 is up there twice, right? You should see that. That's part of the next step. X plus 4 is up there twice. Anytime you see it both, it's called a GCF, right? So there's another GCF. So what are we going to do? We're going to write it down in front. We always write GCFs in front, right? So we're going to write it down in front since it's in both. We're going to write down X plus 4. GCFs we divide, right? So these guys are going to be divided to become positive ones. Because anytime we do GCFs, we divide. Okay? Now what are the leftovers? What's left over that I haven't done anything with? 1x squared plus a negative 25, right? Instead of plus a negative, that just means minus. Minus 25. Okay? That's step 5 and step 6. So we really only have one more step because this one just said factor. Are any of those guys difference of squares? Yes. The second one is, right? So we break it down into two smaller groups, 1 plus, 1 minus. The square root of 1 is 1. Half the power, x and x. The square root of 25 is 5, plus 5 minus 5. The other guy was not difference of squares. So that one just comes down. Are there any more difference of squares? No, we are done. We don't do the last step because it just said factor. Okay? So step 1, step 7, step 8 are what you guys have done before. That looks familiar. 1, 7, and 8. The rest of them are kind of the new ones, right? We don't do the x for these guys because there's 4 terms. It's not A, B, C. Okay? All right, so let's try again. Let's do another one on the back or on the inside. 1B. Same directions, factor completely. So order. Anytime you start, you should be looking at order. Is the order okay, or do I need to move things around? It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Is the first guy negative or positive? Positive. Okay, good there. GCF now. Let's do a GCF between all 4 of these guys. Let's start with the Q's. How many Q's can I take away from them all? 3, right? They all have at least 3 to give. That's the most amount I can take from all of them. Okay, so now let's do the numbers. 4, negative 10, 16, and negative 40. What's the biggest number I can divide them all by? 2, I think. Yeah, 4 doesn't go into 10 evenly, so we can't divide them by 4. So 2. Okay. GCF goes in front, like always. So if 2 goes into 4 2 times, if I take away 3 powers, I get Q3. 2 goes into negative 10 negative 5 times. If I take away 3 powers, I get Q2. 2 goes into 16 8 times. If I take away a power, I just got Q. 2 goes into negative 40 negative 20 times. If I take away all the Q's, there's no more left. Okay? So that was step 1. We just did step 1, GCF. Step 2, move the inside. So now we're focused on the inside. Put this into 2 smaller groups. Put this into 2 smaller groups. Okay. So I'm going to use, instead of parentheses, because there's already parentheses, I'm going to use brackets. Brackets are the same thing as parentheses. They're just bigger. There's no difference between brackets and parentheses. Okay, so I'm going to put the first group here, the second group here. And then the GCF, the original GCF just comes along for the right, just like always. So the first group, 2Q3 minus 5Q squared. Oh, sorry, there's a plus in the middle. I forgot to write the plus. 8Q minus 20. That was step 2. Got my 2 groups. Okay, so now let me look at the first group. What's the GCF for the first group? Q2, right? I don't think I can divide 2 and negative 5, just 1, right? So it's just going to be 1 Q2. Okay, so that goes in the front, 1 Q2. The original GCF just comes down for the right. Okay, so what's left? Let's see, 2Q minus 5. Because I took away 2 powers and I took away 2 powers. Okay, so now let's look at the second group. 8Q minus 20. What's the GCF there? 4, yeah. Positive 4. So it would be 2Q minus 5. Okay, that was step 3 and step 4. Now we should be seeing double. There should be something that appears twice. 2Q minus 5, right? Okay, so I'm going to rewrite that. So 2Q minus 5, that becomes 1, that becomes 1. Now the leftovers, just on the inside of the brackets. Don't worry about the GCF in front, but on the inside of the brackets, what is left over? 1Q2 plus 4. Okay. Difference of squares. Are any of those guys difference of squares? So we got 1 here and 1 here. Are any of those guys difference of squares? So 2Q minus 5, that's not difference of squares. But the 1Q plus 4, does that meet all 3 conditions? It misses one of them. What's the one it misses? Subtraction. It's not subtraction, yeah. So even if it goes 2 out of 3, it's not good enough. It has to be all 3. So because of that, we're done. We're done. Okay? All right. All right. Let's go to 1C now. So we got one more that says factor, and then we're going to do the 2 that say solving. Just means we do the extra step. Go ahead. All right. Okay, so first step. Always, always, always. Is it in order? Is it in the correct order? Is the leading guy positive? And is there a GCF? Correct order is okay, right? Order, we're good. We got a negative in front, right? So we got to take care of that. Okay. So let's take a look at that. So let's start with the p's. What's the most amount of p's I can take away? 3. Okay. So definitely a negative, right? Definitely a negative because I want to make 12 into positive. The first guy needs to be positive. Okay. So what's the biggest number besides 1? 2, I think. Yeah. I don't think 4 doesn't go into 14 evenly, so it's just 2. So that is our GCF. So we get 6P3 plus 7P2 minus 24P minus 28 when I divide them all. Okay. Now in here, I got to divide them into groups, 2 groups, just like I did the last 2. So the first group is here, the second group is here. 6P3 plus 7P2, negative 24P minus 28. Okay. GCFs. The first blue group, the first blue parenthesis group. Looking for GCF. So what is the GCF for those guys? I think it's just going to be 1p squared, right? 1p squared, 1p squared, yeah. Nope. So that'll leave 6p plus 7. So here's a trick. After this step, we're going to need to see double, right? We're going to need to see double, because that's what we usually see. So what do I have to do to the second group to make it match the first group? What do I have to divide by? What do I have to divide these guys to match 6p plus 7? 4. Negative 4, right? Negative 4. If I divide by negative 4, that's the trick. That's the trick, because the next step is always they have to be the same, right? I have to see double. So minus 4. So that'll make this guy 6p plus 7. Right? Okay. We see double. 6p plus 7, and then write the leftovers. When I divide by 6p plus 7, right? What will the leftovers be? Minus 4, good. There will always be leftovers. Even if it's 1, there will always be leftovers. Okay? All right. That was step 5 and 6. Last step, difference of squares. Are any of these guys difference of squares? That one is. This one finally is. It wasn't on the last one because there was a plus in the middle, but it is now. So we have 1p plus 2, 1p minus 2. Again, you don't have to write the 1 in front. The 1 you don't need to write. You can if you want. Everything else comes down because it wasn't difference of squares. Okay? No more difference of squares. Done. You are done. Okay? The only added step that we're going to have next 2 problems is that we get our answers. We need answers. Okay? That's the only added step. And you guys did that last week. You guys did it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You guys did that step. Okay? All right, last 2. Last 2. So we're going to finish a little early. So if you didn't finish the stations, that'll be perfect time to finish the stations. Because we're going to finish a little early so I can grade them. I haven't graded them yet, but I will. Okay? So yeah, that's what we'll do with the time left over after these 2 problems. Okay? Okay, so is it in the correct order? Is there a leading term is a leading term positive? Is there a GCF? So how about the order? Let's start with the order. Is the order correct? Yeah, 3, 2, 1, no, nothing. Let's see, next one, leading term positive. Yeah. Let's see, now GCF. Is there something I can divide them all by? No, right? Besides 1? Besides 1, no. 5 doesn't have an X, so I can't do that. So the GCF is just 1. Okay? Next step, 2 groups. 2 groups, 2 smaller groups. 48x3 minus 80x2, 3x plus 5. Remember, the equal 0 just comes along. Okay? First group in blue parentheses. What's the GCF there? What's the biggest number and the most amount of powers? So it's actually going to be more than 8. It's actually 16. Yeah. 8 goes in, 4 goes in, 2 goes in, but we want the biggest. So the biggest is actually going to be 16. Yeah. X2. Okay. So that becomes 3x, because 16 goes into 48 3 times. If I take away 2 powers, I got 1 power of x. 16 goes into 80 negative 5 times. If I take away 2 powers, I have none. Oops, I forgot about the negative up here. That should be a negative. So I want the second blue guy to look like this blue guy. What do I have to divide by? Negative 1, yeah, negative 1. Okay. So we get 3x minus 5. I should do blue. Okay. I should see double, right? So whatever I see double is going to go in the front now because that's the new GCF. That becomes a 1. That becomes a 1 because I'm dividing. Anytime we divide, do GCS, we divide. Leftovers. What were the leftovers?
16x squared minus 1.
Minus 1, good. Okay. That's step 6, step 5 and step 6. Now step 7, are any of these difference of squares? Yes, right? That guy is difference of squares. So it should be 4x plus 1 and 4x minus 1. 3x minus 5 is not difference of squares, so that guy just comes down. Any more difference of squares? Are any of these guys difference of squares? No, because their power is not big enough, right? They only have powers of 1. The last one, 4x minus 1 is close. If that had a power of 2, yeah, but it's not close enough. So because it says solve, now we need solutions. We're going to get 3 answers. Where am I going to get them from? Here, here, and here. So set them all equal to 0. Okay, we're going to get 3 answers this time. Okay, so I'm going to add 5 to both sides. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Remember, if you can't divide, 3 does not go into 5 evenly. Don't change it to a decimal. Just reduce it. Reduce it means try to make the number smaller. Well, I can't because I can only divide them by 1. So you leave it as a fraction. X equals 5 over 3. Next one, negative 1, minus 1, both sides. Divide by 4. That doesn't make 4, it makes negative 1/4. You can move the negative with the 1, you can move it with the 4, or you can put it in front like I did. Doesn't matter, as long as there's 1 negative somewhere there. Last guy. Add 1. Divide by 4. Same answer, just positive version. Positive 1/4. Don't change them to decimals, just leave them like that. Okay, all right, we got one more and then we'll be done. One more, we'll be done. Okay, so one more. So on the last one, I want you to do step 1 and step 2. Do step 1 and step 2. If you can keep going, keep going. But at least do step 1 and step 2 and then I'll join along. Okay? Okay, so step 1 was, is in the correct order, is the first guy negative, and GCF. So it was in order. First guy was negative. GCF is a negative 1, x2. And then I put them first group, second group. Okay. GCF of the first blue group. GCF is going to be 1x squared. So I had a student do this. When they had this problem, they did this. What did they do wrong? Yeah, they divided. So they divided the first one, right? 1x squared into 6x cubed. They did 1 into 6 6 times, and then they took away 2 powers. I was right. But what's wrong about it? Yeah, there should be something there. But there should be a positive 1, right? If you divide anything by itself, there should be a positive 1. The only time you get 0 is when you divide by 0. I'm not dividing by 0. And if I want to match, I need to go -4, -4. So we get 6x plus 1. After this step, after you do the second GCF, you should see double. Whatever you see double, you're going to rewrite it. Leftovers go next. GCF's in front, the original GCF. Difference of squares. Is there any difference of squares? Yes, there is here, right? It's 1x plus 2, 1x minus 2. Everything else comes down. No more difference of squares. Now I got to get my answers. Now I got to get my answers. I'm going to get an answer here, an answer here, here, and there. 4 answers. -1 x squared equals 0. 6x plus 1 equals 0. X plus 2 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0. Four answers. Divide by -1, you're going to get 0. Anything, something times something makes 0. 0 times 0. Subtract 1 from both sides. Divide by 6, divide by 6. X equals -1, 6. Subtract 2, add 2. -2, +2. 4 answers. 4 answers. Okay, and that's it.